Hi, this is Rosemary Ray Mangum, and it is September the 14th, 2025. So, I was talking to my granddaughter, and we was talking about the Bible, and she said, I know where I'm going, Grandma. I said, where you going? She pointed downwards. I said, what you think? I said, why you think you're going to hell? She said, because she been bad. I said, well, until you turn 12 years old, your mom and dad's responsibility is to teach you right from wrong. I said, you know right from wrong, but he said, all you that is laden, come unto him. And I said, well, he told the children to come unto him. And I said, don't mean you're going to hell. She said, my granddaughter said, I'm going down. It was so fun. I mean, she had the serious face. And I just bust out laughing. I said, Dad, I guess she ain't gonna be no more good. She done decide what side of the road she'll be going on. He said, if you know you're going to hell, Mom wasn't doing the style. let me stop. I said, you ain't going to hell. I said, granddaughter, you ain't going to hell. I said, you too young to do anything like that. I said, you have time to pray and ask God to forgive you and stuff like that. She looked at me like, Grandma, you just don't know what you're talking about. I said, no. I said, true. Like, granddaughter, they got me tickled. She said, I've been bad. I said, you have to pray and ask God to forgive you. I said, but it don't mean that you're going to hell. I said, it could be a split change faster than what you know. I said, you can't tell me where you're going. You can only guess by what you've been doing, but it doesn't mean you're going there. And she looked at me. She said, okay, Grandma. I'm like, I don't believe you, Grandma. But it's okay, she's young and naive about a lot of stuff, but she knows there's a real God, and that's what matters. So y'all have a good Sunday today.